Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Let me clap. Who do we have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Hey, it's Edward Rivera speaking. Right.
Awesome. So we've had you on the show before, so welcome back. Uh, what have you been up to since we spoke last?
Okay, so I I believe we spoke in February, correct?
I believe
Or
that's
was
correct, yeah.
um yeah. So the last time we spoke, I was just about to head on my winter vacation, which was going to be like a backpacking trip through Southeast Asia,
Okay.
which I went to Cambodia. I was in Cambodia. I went to Siem Reap and Phnom Penh.
Nice.
It had been my second time in Cambodia. First time I went to Siem Reap. I've been to Angkor Wat twice, but I never went to Phnom Penh. And then from Cambodia, went off to Vietnam, which I spent most of that trip. I had about 3.5 weeks to travel,
Okay.
and I would say that I was in Vietnam for at least 2.5, maybe a little bit more.
That's
Went
awesome.
all the way from south of Vietnam to the north of Vietnam, and then into Laos.
Okay.
Went and then ended my trip in Laos. Um, and then I came back to Korea,
Okay.
where I currently live because I've been living in Korea for about 4 years now.
Wow.
Um, and then I had another 2 weeks where I was doing some stuff in Korea, taking care of like business stuff,
Okay.
and then went to Thailand for 2 weeks, um, and stayed around the islands. I was in Bangkok for about 2 nights. Went to Koh Lipe. Koh Lipe is very, very like south,
Yeah.
closer to Malaysia.
Yeah.
Um, and I was there for. I've never been there before. I always wanted to go. Stayed there for a while, and then met up with a buddy of mine on Koh Samui, where he usually lives about 6 months out of the year, and I usually try to catch him when he's there. So that's what I did for the months of February, January, February actually, because in January I did most of the Southeast Asia trip,
Yeah.
and then February to Thailand.
So you've been
Uh,
very busy since we spoke last.
Yeah, as far as traveling goes, as far as business goes, and just endeavors that I have and
Yeah.
stuff that I'm working on, yeah, I've been pretty busy.
Yeah.
It's actually strange. It feels like yesterday when we spoke last.
Yeah, it does. It really does. We've been busy on our side as well. Tons of things I want to dig into from what you were just saying, but for the individuals that haven't heard our first podcast, I highly encourage everybody to listen to that one as well. Could you remind everybody just what you're doing in Korea and why you've been stationed there for the last 4 years?
All right. So basically, I used to live in Barcelona, Spain, from the year I think it was 2011 to 2012, and basically I just got like a TEFL certification to teach English
Okay.
as a second language, which I did in Barcelona, and then I decided to stay in Barcelona and
What
kind of
was
gain
that
some.
process like? Like, how'd you get into that?
There's a couple of processes. Usually people like to do it online courses, but a friend of mine told me that it was just better to do it in class where
Yeah.
you actually enroll in maybe like an institution that is certified to teach it.
Okay.
And you do like about 120 hours of, you know, you basically learn what you should have learned as an English speaker in school, like grammar and how to teach pronunciation and phonetics,
Yeah.
different activities, and how to teach teaching students that literally are trying to learn your native language,
Yeah.
and the processes of which you can do it effectively.
Yeah. Even
And
though it
I
was in
did that.
Barcelona, I'm assuming that it's obviously taught in English. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like usually someone, probably like a business owner, will have like someone from probably Britain or maybe an American will open up a school
Yeah.
abroad, and they'll do that and tell everyone, "Oh, come over and you can have an amazing experience abroad while learning how to teach English as a
Yeah.
second language."
It's good sales
But it was
pitch,
an over.
right?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was great. I mean, I loved it. It was a good experience. But, yeah, so I did that for. It only took a month to do
Okay.
for certification. It's 120 hours, but it's pretty intensive. It was. I enjoyed it a lot, and the reason why I did it was because I didn't. I didn't study teaching. I wasn't
Yeah.
a teaching major. I had no idea on how to approach teaching, so
Hmm.
I wanted to learn,
Yeah.
and obviously, I don't want to shortchange my language and not go into it with some experience.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. That's why I did it. And then
Cool.
after a year in Barcelona, which I would say probably the most amazing year of my life, met so many great people, and it is by far my favorite city in the world.
Okay.
Still love it. I decided to pursue teaching in Asia, and
Okay.
I looked into three different places: China, Korea, and Japan. And all of the processes into getting into schools in each country are different.
Hmm.
But the most, like, I felt comfortable the most going to Korea because they had such an adequate package
Yeah.
for foreigners, and also there was a lot of, I would say, safety in terms of what kind of like contract you're going to be receiving because it's
Yeah.
government run,
Yeah.
and it's all for the fact that I know a lot of people, and I've read a lot of. Um, I guess I know a lot of people that have done it, and even my
Yeah.
cousin has.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of research on it, and I just felt that at the time, what my goal was to get rid of as much debt as possible
Yeah.
because everyone wants to travel. I mean, I think
Yeah.
most of the people I speak to, they want to travel, and then they give me their reasons why, and the top reason is like, well, I have school debt, and I'm like, well, you can travel with
Yeah.
debt, but also keep the goal of getting rid of the debt, which would
Yeah.
allow you to do more. So I came to Korea in 2012, and I only had about, I feel like I only had the idea of staying a year because I wanted to move as much as
Okay.
possible. But after 1 year, I realized how much money I could save.
Yeah.
And after a year of being in Korea, I finished all of my school debt,
That's awesome.
completely all of my school debt. Granted, I didn't have as much as most people, but it
Yeah.
was still a lot. It was
Yeah.
17,000 US,
Wow. Paying
which
that off
is
in a year is really good.
yeah, exactly. But I was very very conservative with
Yeah.
my money because it's very easy
Yeah.
to go crazy in Korea. I would say I'm not gonna lie. I'm just not gonna sugarcoat it. I have a lot of money to spend.
Were you
Um,
in that year? Did you travel much though? Like when you say you were kind of frugal during that time, like did you still budget to travel?
Absolutely. Probably reason why I did. Actually, I don't know if it was a full year of saving to. Maybe I went after my first year. I was like, I'm gonna renew
Okay.
and then use the couple of the beginner months because you get a lot of bonuses as well
Yeah.
in Korea,
Yeah.
and they also supplemented my travel and they supplemented my paying
Cool.
off my debt. But
Cool.
yeah, so my first year in Korea, I went to the Philippines
Okay.
for 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
That was my vacation, and then that summer I went back to Barcelona,
Yeah.
um, just because all of my friends were still there, and a couple of my friends from back home decided to go have a Euro trip, and I was like, "Meet me in Barcelona.
Let's
If
go.
you're not gonna, yeah, let's go to
What
Barcelona."
is the time commitment then? Because it sounds like there's enough buffer where you can like go to the Philippines for 2 weeks. Like what when you're doing this program, like how long does it take?
Yeah, so basically, all contracts in Korea are 1 year contracts.
Okay.
I mean, that's the norm. There's two ways to go about teaching. There's the public school way
Okay.
and the academy way, which is like the private business, an owner, someone opened up a school, and the kids after school programs they'll come in and then they'll learn English, and then you'll have a teacher, an English teacher, but they
Okay.
have a lot longer hours. So
Okay.
if I were to give anyone advice, and they wanted to teach English in Korea, and they wanted a lot of time to save money, but
Yeah.
have a lot of time to themselves. I wouldn't personally go the academy route
Oh, okay.
because you're not going to get a lot of time off and you're working
Interesting.
more hours.
Okay.
Um, Personally, for me, so my schedule runs with a normal public school schedule
Hmm.
for my first 2 years in Korea. So there's a program called EPIK, EPIK, English program in Korea, and they give you 10 days vacation in the winter and about 8 days vacation in the summer. But then
Okay.
if you add that to the weekends and stuff, it turns out to be two
Yeah.
weeks in the winter, such and such. And then you get all public holidays off, and then there's a long 1 week holiday usually in September, which is like Korean Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
you get a lot of these off with public school teaching.
Okay. Okay.
I did all my travel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Awesome.
yeah, so that's what I would say. Like that's why I came to Korea,
Yeah,
and
so
I've been here.
why so you mentioned like when you're in Barcelona, you had the best year of your life and then you decided, "Hey, I want to jazz it up and move to Asia." What was that kind of thought process or the thing that really brought you to Korea?
Um, yeah, so like I was saying, I mean, in Barcelona as an American,
Yeah.
it's really hard to get sponsored by a school
Huh.
that will give you full-time hours
Okay.
because you're only supposed to stay in Europe for about 3 months on
Yeah.
your tourist visa.
Yeah.
But with Barcelona, it's a little bit, especially with those countries, the Schengen countries they call them, like Portugal, Spain, France, Germany. They're a little bit lenient when it comes to who comes in and out.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I stayed over my visa, and I was working under the table pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's very scary. It's very scary to think that at any point in time you can just get caught. And like some people get caught and they get fined from, they get fined by the EU or
Okay.
they get banned. There's people that I know. I
Yeah.
know one person got fined and banned for 2 years. So I didn't really like that. I didn't really
Yeah.
like certainty of like, oh, I'm gonna go to France this weekend and then come back, and they're like, "Why are you still here?" And then you're
Yeah.
just like, out.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is nowadays, unfortunately.
Yeah. Bummer.
So I went to Korea because Korea literally gives you a working visa, and
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about working
Yeah.
under the table. You're paying taxes, paying Korean taxes. Everything is legit. Everything is, and
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
no stress when it comes to that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But what I had said, I mean, Barcelona was one of my favorite years of my life. I met some amazing people. Was able to go to like Germany on the weekend and France on the weekend and
Yeah.
Portugal on the weekend. But the uncertainty of like, when am I gonna get caught or whatnot? So
Yeah.
I had to leave. If they would have given me like a visa, or if I can work in Spain with a visa or work in Barcelona with a visa, I would definitely do it. But at the
Yeah.
time, I had so much debt, and I wasn't making a lot of money. I was making money to get by, but I was
Yeah.
going into more just doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, and the whole point of being in Europe is to travel, and if every time you travel you're stressed out, like it kind of makes it not as fun. So I kind of want to switch gears a little bit. You had mentioned when you're talking about the things that you've been doing in the last couple of months, you talked about some of the endeavors and kind of the businesses that you've spun up. I am familiar with those, obviously, because we've chatted a lot offline. But would you remind listeners who didn't listen to the first podcast just kind of what some of those endeavors are, and then just give us kind of some updates and some lessons learned and kind of what you've been up to?
Yeah. So basically, having a lot of free time here in Korea and traveling, I have a lot of photos of
Yeah.
places that I've been, and it's always been a passion of mine doing photography. It was more of a hobby. But then I started to see some of the younger kids, and I say younger because I'm only 31. I mean, I'm not old, but like younger kids, like maybe 10 years younger than me, just making vlogs and blogs, and gaining some traction along the travel community, getting sponsored by. some really big companies, and just having them do what they love, and that's
Right.
travel. So that inspired me, and I'm not knocking those kids.
Yeah.
They younger kids inspired me to do something, and I think in this day and age with how the internet has developed, we I don't know how old you are, but we're kind of like in this
Yeah. I'm
weird group
30,
of,
so yeah, very
yeah.
similar.
So like we were born without the internet, and then the
Yeah.
internet came, and then we didn't know the actual potential of it, and we
Yeah.
didn't learn it as good as these kids at 10 years younger than us were born with it, and then what it's implemented in their curriculums now. So
Yeah.
I want to take advantage of that. So with traveling, the internet and the way it works, and Instagram, especially Instagram, is changing my life in a
Yeah.
way better. What I'm doing is I'm taking photos on two different platforms.
Okay.
The Aerial Aspects, which is my first endeavor, was Aerial Aspects. It's mostly drone photography and drone cinematography videos, that I just wanted to show people what I've been doing, where I've been traveling to,
Yeah.
and just landscape views of places people don't normally go to.
Yeah.
Um, and then once I saw that kind of taking off, um, I was inspired by actual vloggers, and actually someone that I know personally that I went to school with in Bangkok. He started doing some vlogs, and his vlog just blew up.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
just saw him getting sponsored by GoPro, sponsored by
Yeah.
Panasonic, and I was just like, I can do all of this stuff.
Yep.
Why am I not doing it? So I decided to do like a side project where I was going to make kind of YouTube videos specific to what I'm doing on a daily basis or on a weekly basis,
Yeah.
where I'm going, and it's more of like a up close and personal, about my life. And a lot of people do it, but
Yeah.
there's so many people out there to fall into one channel and like this
Yep.
person. So
Yeah.
I decided to kind of stray into the personal vlogging. I'm developing that now, with my Instagram as well. And then once I get like I feel comfortable and start doing more vlogging, because it's not something that I've done before or
Yeah.
comfortable with at the moment, but I feel like I have so much footage to put together
Yeah.
now that I'm just going to start putting out footage on the masses, and then I'll start to show people how to get in, like how to get the links for it, or
Yeah.
how to go to that channel. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm doing now. And Korea has helped me do that a lot because I have a lot of the free time and the
Yeah. And I
flexibility
do want
to.
to pause. Anybody listening to this, definitely check it out because some of the shots and the angles and everything that you're getting are absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, it makes me want to just go buy a quadcopter and just throw it up and start taking awesome photos of my travels as well. So yeah, definitely check it out.
All right, thanks. I mean, if you want me to plug it, we can plug it now. Um, so yeah, so I have the Instagram account Aerial Aspects. We can probably put that on like the
Yeah,
screen
we'll put it on
later.
the show notes and all of that.
And yeah, and then we have my personal. Mostly, this isn't going to be the aerial views. It's more of the shots that I'm taking with my Canon.
Yeah.
Because I love Canon. I'm hoping that they'll come sponsor me one day. But yeah, Canon cameras. I'm using a Canon on all my photos, and just posting all of my like landscape shots,
Yeah.
or just something that I wanted to post that happened that day that was cool. But it's mostly landscape photos of my trips, and then the other Instagram is all my aerial footage and aerial videos.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's take a second and talk about Instagram. Instagram's something that you've actually helped us out personally with and taught me a ton of kind of what to do, what not to do. Obviously, it's something that everybody needs to be doing, especially if you're getting started in travel blogging space or just even want to document your own travels. Would you be able to provide some of the tips and tricks that somebody should be doing or not doing when it comes to Instagram? Just kind of like the high level things that you see, kind of common mistakes, common things that you should be doing.
Yeah, so I started really taking Instagram seriously in October of 2016. It's only about, what, 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was at 300 followers on both accounts. Um, Aerial Aspects one was at 300 followers, and I was stuck there for a while. I was stuck there for a while, and I was just like, I'm using all these hashtags, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. What's going on? And then the Roving Rivera Instagram, which is my personal one, that was a different name. It was actually just Eddie Riv, and I had like silly photos of me drinking with my coworkers and kids in my school. And then
Yep.
I decided to professionalize that one, and that
Hopefully
was at
not the
also.
drinking with the kids at your school, just to clarify.
No, 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 not at all. Um, but yeah, so what I did was actually I learned everything I know now from someone else,
Yeah.
and they helped me. And basically, you have access. Instagram basically is this platform that allows complete strangers to fall into your lap and
Yeah.
decide whether or not they want to follow you or just like a photo.
Yep.
Whereas YouTube is so much harder to find anyone. Facebook is so much harder. So I'm using Instagram to just basically find strangers with common interests and common likes and just want to be inspired.
Yeah.
Basically, how I was inspired. And it's really cool to see people asking me for advice now. And it's only been 8 months since, I went from 300 to
Yeah.
right now, one is at
Yep.
16,800 and
Yeah.
the other one at 15 or 16.5.
Yeah.
So I was the kid looking for advice. I got it, used it, and now I'm giving that advice out.
Yeah.
So, getting to the advice part, as you know, hashtags are very important,
Yep.
but hashtags are very saturated if you use the wrong ones.
Yep.
Everyone uses the Insta good, the love, daily, grams, whatever.
Yep.
So depending on your niche, say I'm a drone kind of guy, I want drone accounts to follow me, or I want people that like drones to follow
Yep.
me. I will find the unsaturated hashtags that I can potentially um, rank in the top nine
Yeah.
photos.
Yeah.
I'm not going into how you do that because if you want to know, come talk to me personally.
Yep.
But yeah, so I look for unsaturated hashtag accounts that I could potentially rank in the top nine, so that viewers, anyone that's looking up those hashtags, they'll see the top nine instantly, and then they'll go through those photos, and then they choose whether they want to follow you or not.
Yep.
So that's one way. Also, this is a freebie, so everyone needs to listen to this one. To use the right words in your Instagram account, in your profile,
Yep.
that could potentially open up accessibility to people searching for whatever your niche is.
Yeah.
So if your Spotted Places app, do not put Spotted Places app in the title. It's just a waste of space.
Yep.
Put what exactly the app is about. If it's travel, if it's exploration, people write travel, your Instagram will pop up.
Yep.
If they want to look up adventure and you have adventure in your title page, your thing is going to pop up, because the way Instagram works is that the algorithm doesn't matter how popular you are. Whatever keyword is put in there, and if someone is following someone in that niche, your Instagram is going to pop up, and that's the beauty part of Instagram.
Yeah. You should anybody listening to should check out the Spotted Places Instagram account, which is at Spotted Places app. And I wish I had a before and after screenshot of what our account looks like before you were helping us out, and then after, because we were doing all the kind of typical mistakes, and as soon as we made those small changes, we were drastically seeing improvement. So yeah, definitely listen to this advice.
I actually have on my computer where you started and
Oh, you do? Awesome.
yeah, you started at 2,500 followers, and then in 3 months you definitely were over 7,000.
Yeah, I think we got about 7.5 or so.
Yeah, and So that's like one tip with the hashtags and the keywords, basically. Um, and then the other significant part is where I would come along and kind of coach you through it and help you find people that are interested in what you're doing. Um, advice. This is really important to me. People do this to me all the time. I get a lot of inbox messages, and I
Yeah.
invite that. I love it. It's cool to see people wanting to talk to me.
Yep.
But as soon as I realize that it is a robot, like not an actual robot, it's not a robot account. I know they're real people,
Yeah.
but they feel like I need to get as many messages out as
Yeah.
possible. So I'm going to download this app that is going to help me just throw out a whole bunch of DMs to people. And that's fine, but at the end of the DM, it says this message was
Yeah.
run by blah blah blah, and I'm like, all right, well this guy probably didn't really take the time to look at my account and write me a message specifically to me.
Yeah.
So I either ignore it or I message them. I'm like, hey man, like
Yeah.
I don't talk to people that do bot messages. Like
Yeah.
I try to give them the advice. I try to tell them like, if you want my attention, just say, you came across my account, you want to talk about it, or send me a question, and I'll answer it. It's not a
Yep.
problem at all. But I just, it's just a waste of time for me because I don't know if it's a bot account, and if it
Yeah.
isn't, because I'm thinking it is, and then they lose the opportunity to, get in contact with me because we could probably be mutually beneficial to each other.
Yeah. Exactly.
So people out there running bot programs, I would just say don't do it.
Yeah.
Especially if you message me, I'm not going to message you back. Um, people just message me and they're like, "Hi," and I'm like, "Hey," and they're like,
It's like,
"Yeah, I'm good." And I'm like, "All
okay.
right, that's cool. I know that you're a person. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah.
It's like an irrelevant message. They just want to talk. I don't know what it is about, but I have the time to do it. I'll do it."
Yeah.
But that's probably the worst case scenario when it comes to like bad things to do on
Yeah.
Instagram. Don't message someone with a bot program, especially if the bot is trying to advertise itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, is obviously whoever made it is trying to gain, some traction as well. So they put
Yeah.
like a tag on their bot.
Yeah.
Um, what else? Always, and I've told you this, and you did it, which is great. Always reply to the people that comment on your account. I
Yeah.
understand as your account grows, you'll get more comments and whatnot. And I'm getting anywhere from 50 to 100 comments a photo. I can't reply to everyone,
Yeah.
but I try to.
Yep.
And if I can't give a personalized message, I will try, because they allow you on Instagram to at least tag 10 people that
Yeah.
comment, and I'll just tag all those 10 people, and I'll just like, thanks a lot.
Yep.
And if I see a question, I'll try to answer it, just to show them that I saw that they had a question.
Yeah.
But sometimes Instagram doesn't notify me that I get comments. So if I don't comment back to someone, it's not because I ignored it. It's usually because for the reason I
Getting
don't get the notification.
overwhelmed or
It's getting overwhelming. It's really cool to say that my accounts are getting so saturated to the point where I'm not getting all the notifications. I think
Yeah.
that's a success.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you miss
I've
one, then yeah.
today someone messaged. Well, today I saw a message. They were like, "Let me know when you're in Australia," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I would love to go to Australia." And it was like 5 weeks ago, and I was like, "Man, I didn't see that till today. I feel so bad." And I just followed their account and just like wanted to acknowledge that I saw it, and then
Yeah.
I replied to it
Yeah.
because they had a
That's
good
awesome.
account too. I
Yeah.
would love
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
meet God. So
That's awesome. Well, we have to work towards wrapping up here, but do you want to kind of dive into your plans that are coming up? I know they recently had changed and just kind of where you're going to be in the world.
yeah, so this is a new endeavor for me. I was planning to stay in Korea for at least 2 more years.
Okay.
And then it went down to no, 1 more year. Because I was like, I'm just gonna take 1 more year to like really, really save, like
Yeah.
not spend anything, maybe sacrifice a little travel here and there to
Yeah.
actually save. But with the side things that I'm doing, the income is kind of like supplementing itself.
Yeah.
So then I decided to just leave Korea,
Okay.
and I'm moving at the end of August, and I'm actually moving to Beijing,
Oh,
China,
okay.
because I got a job teaching in Beijing, China, for the Chinese public schools,
Okay.
and um, it's an actual like better gig that I have now. Gives me
Interesting.
a lot more free
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
money, and a lot more time to make a little side money, to keep the aerial aspects business
Yep.
going and to keep my travel going. So yeah, end of August, I will be moving to Beijing, China.
Awesome.
Uh, I've never been to China. I've only been to Hong Kong. It's
Assume you
like
don't speak any of the language or anything.
no Mandarin, no Mandarin. But I didn't come to Korea knowing much except for the alphabet. So
Yeah.
this is what
Do you know
I
much
put.
Korean now, having been there 4 years?
I know enough Korean to feed myself and get alcoholic beverages
Yeah.
and
The
and
important stuff, right?
get what I
Survival.
need to cab. Um, I cannot have a conversation with someone about like what did they do on
Yeah.
their honeymoon, but like, I could, just chat where I'm from,
Might
blah blah.
want to be cautious asking that question anyway. So.
Yeah, I thought that was just like a weird question to ask someone anyway,
Yeah.
so I would
Why not?
understand that. But yeah, no, I know enough Korean to get by, and yeah, I just think my time here has run out. I've had an amazing 4 years, I
Yeah.
think.
Sounds
I'm
like
sure I
it.
had a great time. And I just feel like a change is in the air, and China to me has been a place that I've been wanting to go even before I came to Korea. And also, I made the decision because I have some close friends that live in China now,
Cool.
and it's going to help me adapt into the
Yeah.
transition. And
Yeah.
they've said nothing but good things about it. And also the fact that China is so big, compared to Korea, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like the United States in the way, like everywhere you go in the United States, the
Yeah.
landscape changes, and that's what I kind of miss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Korea is great. It's great for hiking. I love it. There's a lot of cool national parks and mountains, but everywhere you go, kind of feels the same to me.
Yeah.
And I need more. I need more stuff to work with personally,
Yeah.
as like an upcoming. I don't. It's weird to sound like upcoming cinematographer, but like someone that has a passion for cinematography, and I
Yep.
need more to work with. Droning the Great Wall of China, like that is
Oh
what
yeah.
I'm doing, and getting those photos out and getting videos of that out, and just being able to go to like the Gobi Desert, and I want to go to Tibet and film
Yeah.
some. I want to start getting into documentaries as well.
Yeah.
So if I could do like a documentary on Tibet or something, that'd be great.
That'd be
I mean,
really cool.
that's kind of like, like I said, I'm using the English job as like a way of
Yep.
financing this stuff, but I'm steadily moving and focusing on getting out of that to do
Yeah.
this 4/7 and make this my overall business and
Yep.
way to travel, and trying to get as many sponsors as possible. And things are actually looking really well. I mean,
Cool.
I've had drone like lenses sent to me for free,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
sent to me for free, and bags sent to me for free that I can carry all my drone stuff, and it's really cool. It's really cool how it's all panning out. So I just
Yeah.
want to continue.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on everything. It's always kind of fun when you're hitting those different tiers. So, yeah, congratulations on that. Yeah.
Thanks.
So awesome. Well, where can people find you? We had kind of mentioned in the middle of this, and we'll definitely add show notes. But if you just want to reiterate where people can reach out and say hi, not with their bot, but as a person.
Yeah, I would say the best way to get in contact with me is Instagram. I'm just always on it, so you can find me at Aerial Aspects. We'll put that up.
Yep.
That's my drone page, and then Roving Rivera, which It's my personal page. But either one you find me on, I will respond to whichever one you message me on. And then, I mean, I have a YouTube channel that I post all my aerial videos and montages on. If you just go to YouTube and put AerialAspects TV, I'm sure it will pop up. And then I have Facebook. I just do AerialAspects.tv. But Instagram, I would say, if you send me a DM, I'll see that immediately. That's the best way. And if you wanted to build up, or you wanted to learn any more about building your Instagram account, just hit me up, especially when it comes to travel, because I pretty much know the ins and outs of how to travel page.
We're a testament to that as well.
You know, I can help any page grow, whether it be like a business about yoga. I'm sure I can help. Right now, I'm helping a friend with his clothing Instagram page, and his page grew tremendously. I don't know if it's because, like, obviously everyone likes clothes, but his style of clothes, I guess he just took off. But if you have like an Instagram account about fitness or like anything, I could help you launch it in the right direction. But if you really want to do something with travel and start blogging and vlogging, I can help you gain some access to people, to build your Instagram account like that, because that's what I'm familiar with.
Yep.
But yeah, just hit me up on the DM. Hit me on the DM, as the song goes.
Hit me in the DM.
So silly. Anything could be a song these days.
Oh yeah. Songs about Instagram.
There you go. That's how popular it is. I mean, they made songs about it.
Yeah.
You know how many people on this app? Oh, sorry. Really briefly, I wanted to add, going back to the DM thing and the bots. If you already have an established account, or maybe you just want more followers, you should definitely take some time in just going through the people you want to contact on Instagram and sending them personal messages on how you can mutually benefit them.
Yep.
Because there are people, like, for example, like me, I've messaged, I'm going to Sri Lanka, actually, in August, before I go to China. And I've been messaging people in Sri Lanka, and they're just like, "You're coming to Sri Lanka?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love your videos. You can stay at my place, or you can work at this place." And I was just like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're traveling somewhere, try to find these pages that specialize in those locations and just message them, and then try to offer them something that's going to benefit them. And chances are, if it's a personalized account that they know that it's you speaking to them, somebody's going to read it if they have someone handling it. And they might even get in contact with you, and you might benefit from that as much as like you're benefiting them. But I've gotten free accommodations from all this stuff. I've got free products, so there's no shame because you got nothing to lose.
It's a really good point, because honestly, that's how majority, I'd say probably about half of the individuals we have on the podcast, like even our relationship, that's really kind of how that started. So definitely good to reiterate that.
Yeah, exactly. I literally was just like, I don't actually remember how did that happen. Oh yeah, so we did the podcast, and I was just like, well, this is what I offer as like helping people, and then you were like, yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah.
If I would have never asked you, it never happened. Yeah. So it's just like, that's a testament to what I'm saying.
Yep. But. Yeah, exactly. Well, awesome. Well, it is a pleasure as always speaking with you, and I'm sure this won't be the last that we hear from you here.
Yeah, definitely. Always a good time talking, and obviously we're going to continue to talk after this podcast. We'll probably learn some other stuff about what's going on with your app.
Yep.
Your app's pretty cool, so.
Awesome. Well, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good day.
All right. Good luck with everything.
Later.
All right. Bye.